cancer research, where the GANs material of a specific condition has been introduced into the cancer cell, we see the concentration of the GANs on cancer cell. When the additional part, which is the cancer part of the cell, the energy, whatever created, is destroyed or opened up, then all the CO2s or copper oxide or zinc oxide, they move in total to the next cancer cell. They don't go to another cell, they don't go to hemoglobin, they don't go to any other tissue. The cell disintegrates, the cancer cell, and now they move all together to the next cell. This is very strange. We've never seen this in one side. This is followed on the observation with the latest systems available in universities. We see migration from cell to cell, cancer cell to cancer cell. They don't go to another cell. This is a puzzling thing for the scientists. We are following their path in the body. Why did they do this? Now, have we managed to create a condition that we can create immunization for cancer? At the moment, our discussion with the scientists is yes, because this is the pattern of it. Because now, if you look, only the cancer cell was the cancer part of the infected cell, or the cancer cell itself was opened up. But in that process, you have to look beyond it. It's not just the gas. That gas has carried a field, which that field can adjust, interact, correct the RNA and DNA. It's a field interaction. This changes the game. Why then they don't go to every other cell? They know these cells are cancer cells. We haven't injected only into the cancer cell. It's been injected into the bloodstream of the animal. And we see they go cell by cell. The observation is amazing. What we see opens up totally new. The doctors, the scientists couldn't understand. I was explaining to them, this is what's happening. Why do they go to another one? Has it become straight away part of, because it's plasmatic, part of DNA, that this does not fit? It needs a change. So the cell starts moving on. We release these are all scientific university research papers. We release it to you, and you as scientists and individuals interested, take it further. So understand the totality of environment. Why do we see people who use with cancer certain path of what you call like injection? We've seen with the mouse, they stay exactly the same. They even become happier. They're more active. Because now what we see, what was opened up as a cancer, which is not a cancer anymore, now is an energy which is available, because that cancer cell was made out of protein, it was made out of energy, plasmatic energy in the cancer state. Now that it's changed its characteristics to its whatever change of environment, now is food to the body. Up to now we died, I've said many times, man dies. No one has died of cancer. We die of the lack of energy, because the cancer takes all of it to grow. Now that we are opening the cancer, the energy is coming back to man. The energy was killing him, now it's become food to him. The game of the science of biology, chemistry has changed. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, it's parallel. That the chemistry up to now we know is a matter state chemistry. Now we have to understand plasmatic chemistry, but not as chemistry, but the interaction of the fields which gives the effect in matter state as a chemist or biology. Nobody is wrong that, so everything we done is wrong. No, we explained in the previous teachings. Now we have to learn two states of the plasmatic field existence. One as a fixed, which what we call the matter state, one which is dynamic, which is a plasmatic state of the same. This is what we have to go. We have to go deeper. We have to understand more. In now what we are considering in the research in the health section, in the cancer section, is very interesting. And that is very simple. We know, if you go back to the teachings, we have three types of cancer. What we call cancer through the evolution. We have a cancer due to accident, physicality, and we have cancer through emotion. When we see cancers, now we have to see from the blood test. Those of you who are medical doctors, you understand this very fully. You look at the markers, you look at the blood test, you look at what is elevated. Is it zinc elevated? But on its own, is it copper elevated on its own? This gives an indication of accidental. You pinch something, you hit something, later on, because of that hit, concentration of the energy has created a point, absorbing energy from the rest has become the beginning of cancer. You come to evolution. Evolution cancer has a very, this is mainly metals, materials, or can be what we call like calcium. But the evolutionary cancer works totally different. Evolutionary cancer, it means the change of the environment. So it has to be connected. When you look at the blood test, it's connected to the salts. If you see magnesium elevation, you see salt elevation in sodium, you see elevation in sulfur, you see elevation in phosphor. The salts are the backbone of the body of the man. This shows you're dealing with evolution. These evolutionary cancers using salt are very difficult to change because it's taken process of life, 2, 3, 10 generations. The environment changed for your grandfather, so body start changing. Your mother changed a little bit, now you're going through the process, but now you have a father from a different string line. This part cannot match. So you show a cancer because it's absorbing energy. Evolutionary cancers are very hard because you have to go down the gene line, but you still can change it. The accidental damages, what we call cancers, which comes from operation, from accidents or whatever, these you can still interact because all you need to do, you interact with the matter, you see it in the blood test. Zinc is elevated and nothing else. There is no elevation in sodium. So immediately you understand this is accidental. When you come to emotional, it's very simple. One of the elevations you see is zinc. Doesn't matter, you see copper or aluminum or whatever else, your iron. You see in the total elevation, zinc elevation, it means it's emotional. And then if it is connected to any of the salts elevation like magnesium, then you understand it has been embedded from the past, or you pass it on in the future. You have made that cancer as part of the evolution cancer. So mother gives to the daughter. She has passed the emotion of the hate of the man to the daughter. The right breast has a cancer. The daughter will have a cancer in the right breast too. This is what we have to understand, what the new technology brings us. Understanding more in depth the whole knowledge of the science of the creation. What do we do with this information? How do we evaluate it? We get a patient with a cancer, we give them what they like, but they still find another place to create cancer. Because their emotion tells you from the zinc level, even when you look at the zinc levels, the extent of the zinc level on the chart will tell you how much emotion is there. If you are past the maximum level of the plasmatic gans of zinc, if it's here and you're above it, you're dealing with, I want to die. This is very simple. I refuse cancer cells, cancer cases, because I see, and they tell me, how do you know? Why do you refuse me and not the other? Because I see, sir, you have a very high elevation of zinc, you have a very high elevation of cesium, cobalt. I see very high elevation of chlor. I know you plan to kill yourself in emotion. I'm not interfering, you're wasting my time and yours. You pretend that I'm here to be saved, is for you, not for me. The evidence in the table and the paper in front of me says different story.